Hey everyone, I know I'm really late getting this out. I'm sorry. I've been having a hard time finding time to record because I've been streaming a lot, which is why I've been trying to get some good stream clips and stuff to post. I need to get better at that. But anyway, for now, there's a lot going on. I mean, obviously a lot's changed since the last videos I've done, and a lot is about to change with Dead by Daylight. And honestly, I have a whole new build that I'm going to try out once it hits. But for today, I'm going to work on the next episode of my hexposed series, and Legion is the next man up. How many does that leave us with? I might try to crank these out. Okay, so there's a few killers left to try it on. I'll try to crank these out a little bit faster so I can finish up this series. But, or you know, I don't even know. Anyway, you know the gist of it. Hexposed Legion, using Hex Retribution, Haunted Grounds, Devour Hope, and no one escapes death. And I'm gonna throw on a black ward because I don't have very many iridescent buttons. So let's go. So since I am recording, I may as well talk about what I think of the new killer and his perks and the new survivor and such. So, graphics update for the next chapter I'm assuming all of you know by now because it's pretty big news that in the next chapter, which is a couple of weeks away because the PTB is currently in motion, so I'd say 1 to 2 weeks from now we'll be seeing that to the full release of the game. But we've got ourselves 2 sets of maps that were given a complete graphical overhaul. It was all of Freddy's maps, the 5 preschool maps, and then there was the 2 Yamaoka estate maps. And I gotta admit, aesthetically they are very pleasing to the eye. There's a few concerns, but I won't get into them quite in this video because there's a lot to go over. And not only did those maps get updates, but all the generators, all the palettes, and it looks like the lighting on just about every map was also modified to look higher def, and the gens got new animations. Oh yeah, chests as well. Chests and gens got new animations when you're working on them. All kinds of good stuff. And it looks really good, really nice. Much cleaner than the animations we're used to. And it's just a nice change of pace for the game for sure. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes, because I'm kind of worried that on console it'll cause the frames to drop a lot on the new maps, because the console, especially PS4, has been having a lot of frame issues lately on Killer, especially, like usual. But it's so I'm hoping that something that they're doing is going to help alleviate this a little bit and try to make it to where the frames are a bit more smooth and consistent. And even go to higher up frames. Although I guess with PS5 and Xbox One right around the corner, console might have a better quality of life on the next gen consoles, because those consoles will be able to process a lot more. I guess there's no way to know until those consoles come out. Until then, we have to just pray the devs are going to do all they can to minimize the load and keep the frames up as much as possible. But, so then there's the new killer, the Blight. Wow, man. I was so excited to see him. 2 years of teasing the Alchemist in cinematics during the Halloween events, and finally he is in the game as a killer. And I gotta admit, I was kind of surprised and admittedly slightly underwhelmed at first when I read his ability. So essentially, for those of you who don't know what he does, he is a killer that when he uses his power, he runs forward for about 20 meters, and he can't attack, and he has limited turning, but if he runs into a wall, he will bounce off of it, and he can use one of his 5 dashing charges, which one of them is used when he starts running. And every time you bump into a wall, you can use another dash to keep going. But after you bounce on a wall one time, you can also attack while you're dashing. So it's got some interesting implications to it, depending on how they fine tweak it. Currently in the PTB, he's kind of buggy, and he has bad hitbox issues, his turning's too limited, and he's got some bugs which make him not play like he's supposed to. But those are getting patched out, we've been told, so he'll be quite different on release. His perks, though, I'm very excited for. The 3 perks he has are I'll start with Dragon's Grip. It's a perk that whenever he kicks a generator for the next 30 seconds, if a survivor touches it, that survivor will scream and then be exposed for 1 minute, and then the perk has a cooldown of like 80 seconds, I think, at tier 3. Pretty awesome perk, actually. Way better than some of the perks we've gotten in the last couple of killers. Then we've got Hex Blood Favor. Now this is, I think, the worst perk in the entire collection because it's got some limit. Because even though it doesn't say it requires basic attacks, it requires basic attacks to activate. Essentially, when a survivor takes damage from your basic attacks, every pallet within 16 meters is blocked for a short period, but then the perk has a 40-second cooldown on top of being a hex. Now, for those of you who don't understand why this sounds bad, because it sounds on paper like it could be really good, well, the problem is 16 meters is not a very big radius, and when a survivor gets hit with a killer's attack, the sprint burst they get will easily carry them out of the 16-meter range before the killer is able to catch up again. And then once that happens... Oh, I haven't played Legion in a while, you can tell. Anyway, but yeah, the problem is the speed boost you get from getting hit with the... Really? The sprint burst you get from getting hit makes you easily able to escape that 16-meter radius, which means the perk's effect is essentially null and void. And that's bad enough, but the fact that it requires basic attacks on top of that means that even killers like Huntress, who I thought would get some value out of the perk, will get pretty much nothing out of it. Come here, Claudette. Alright, rough start, but not the worst. So, and then there's my favorite perk. The one perk I'm really excited for, and I love it to death, Hex Undying. What this perk does is whenever a survivor is near one of your totems, any totem at all, it will temporarily reveal their auras. And the juicy bit is whenever your totems, whenever a hex totem that isn't undying is cleansed, it will move that hex over to another dull totem, while removing every. If it had charge, if it was a token hex, then it will remove all the tokens on it, because obviously if it didn't, Devour Hope would be extremely busted with that perk. But yeah, that's pretty fucking cool, man. I've been wanting to make some hex builds for, like, I mean, that's the whole reason I did this video that I'm doing right now. And the fact that they're finally bringing a perk, like, this is literally the rework I proposed to hex totems. I think I might have said it in a video once. But this is like that was my rework idea for hex totems as a perk, and I know it's kind of a bummer that it's a perk, but at the same time I'm not going to complain, because I didn't think the devs would do anything like that. But even if it has to be a perk, I love it to pieces. And I will be playing around with a perk build that I have been concocting ever since I've heard of it. Like, for once the killer has really good perks. So I can't remember the name of the survivor, you'll have to forgive me for that. This guy, the survivor comes with some pretty nifty little perks himself. First he has Visionary, which this one's the most underwhelming, because all it does is it lets you see gens within 32 meters. It's basically bond for generators, which can still be useful, because I mean, on certain maps, finding gens can be a bit of a bitch. Oh, you don't know what to do now, Meg. Oh, did you 99 your sprint burst? Hello? Alright. Alright, not too bad so far. They only cleanse one totem, so I'm off to a decent start. Didn't get any value out of Haunted Grounds, though. But anyway, the second perk is what's it called? Built to Last. And basically what it does is one time during the match, whenever your item runs out of charges, after 10 seconds, the perk will refill half the charges of whatever item you were carrying. That's pretty strong if you combine it with a good med kit or a good flashlight. Even toolboxes would get some pretty good use out of it, honestly. Ooh. We've almost got 3 stacks. There we go. I shouldn't have... I got the pallet out of her at least, but... I kind of wish I hadn't done that. I should have waited until she threw it, and then went for it. Okay, no, I didn't get claudetted. I went down the wrong hallway. I'm a bit distracted. Yeah, no point in wasting my meter. I screwed up. There ain't no getting around it. And then his final perk, which is, in my opinion, possibly the strongest, and the one I'm honestly kind of worried about because it's kind of ridiculous, is Desperate Measures. Whenever, for every survivor that is hooked in a dying state or injured, you get 1 stack of this perk, and for every stack of the perk, you get 14% extra unhook and healing speeds. That's pretty crazy. You can stop touching my totem now. I'm really surprised he got a fast vault off that. Are you gonna touch my totem now? No, you're not. Damn right you're not. Punk. It sucks that both my totems I need to stay alive got really shitty totem spots. Oh well. At least I might get 1 insta-down, if I'm lucky. Wow, down to 1 gen left. But 'tis the nature of this game. I'm not running any slowdowns, so, you know, this is my own fault. But hey, this is meant to be a more gimmicky build anyway. I didn't let myself get my last token because of that, but in this case the pressure might be a bit more valuable. Can't really do anything with this loop, I have to break it. But yeah, that's pretty crazy for that last perk, because that can stack up to 56%. 56% unhooking and healing speeds. And now this isn't like... Now the thing that makes this so like really good is the fact that it also is not limited to healing other people. It's... You can use it on yourself, which means this can pair with self-care and make self-care more powerful. Especially if you combine this with botany knowledge. Like, it's insane what you can do. I'm surprised that hasn't gotten cleansed yet, despite the fact, I mean, Claudette knew where it was. Yay! 3 Devour Hope stacks. Claudette, you want to see what I can do? Get Devour Hoped. But hey, I got it to activate. Yay! Half the time I don't even get to do that. Sorry, I have that song in my head right now. I've been listening to it. Ah, was it Undying? Oh, it was. I mean, sorry, it was. Ah, but I got both my totems cleansed anyway. Ripperoni. Now I'm sad. Wait, what? How? No way. Oh well. I might keep this one short, just because honestly Legion is just not fun for me. And I just wanted to go over, I just wanted to get a bit of an introductory going. I'm sorry for all you Legion players if you wanted to see more Legion. I'll play some more Legion in the future, but right now I don't have much motivation to play him. I only did it because he's the next in the line for the video. I don't know. Lately I've just been disliking Legion, both playing as and against him. Not for the reasons you may think, though. I find Legion, even though he's kind of an easy win most of the time, to be very annoying because he literally wins through war of attrition. I mean, it's whatever. I tried. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people doing strong heal combos with botany knowledge and desperate measures on the PTB, especially since it can combine with medkits too. Like, that perk doesn't have any limitations on what its healing can be applied to, so that's what makes it so good. Not to mention the fact that at 4 stacks, like, what really cracks me up is that fully Sloppy Butcher and fully stacked Thanatophobia is weaker than 3 stacks of that one perk. Like, it's insane. And it kind of annoys me because Thanatophobia was given very low numbers, and yet the Survivor equivalent is given triple the value, more than triple the value. But we'll have to see when it comes out. It might get nerfed. Even if it doesn't, whether it gets nerfed or not, I kind of want to play around with it because I have a bit of a build idea in mind for it, but I can't say whether it'll work out. Sorry, Claudette. Oh, never mind, your teammate saved you. Nice. Do 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 do. But yeah, this is Legion. I wasn't really expecting much in the way of like a victory. Damn, he managed to get out. Oh, he must have snuck past me. Oh well. I didn't do the worst. Not the best, not the worst. So yeah, that's a brief summary of what's going on. And like I said, I'm going to try to flesh out the rest of these videos as soon as I can. So much has happened since my last video on this, so I apologize it's been so long, but I've been streaming almost every night on my Twitch channel, which is the same as my PSN name if you would like to check me out there, and you can see some content from me that way. Either or, I'll try to figure out something and try to get a bit more regular schedule going for uploads. Until then, thank you all for dropping by, and I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.